Hello guys, welcome back to GM Tuts. So in continuation with this particular Node.js tutorial, we would today deep dive, not deep dive, or I can just say an introduction to a concept of Node.js that is nothing but middleware. And let us talk about that particular design pattern in as and how we go ahead with this particular session. Uh, but before, uh, to make you guys understand about the middlewares, I need to use a Node.js predefined HTTP framework, which is called as Connect. So that is something which I'm going to install right now. So even for the people who want to understand like how we can install predefined modules which are uh, published into npm packages, npm registry, how we can install into it. And trust me guys, it is really very simple. So Connect is something which has been published into npm registry, which is not a core module like how we are doing over here. Rather than that, it is going to be a, so this is something which is already predefined into Node, but there has to be some packages which has to be imported from outside, and that is nothing but into your um, stuff, and that is from your npm registry. So what I'm really going to do over here is I am just going to type a simple command that is nothing but npm install, and that is nothing but connect, and I'm going to just hit enter. Let me see if I get any errors or not. Okay, so once I've just done it, I'll just, okay, so over here I'm get enoent error, and that is nothing but something which is saying that we are not able to get package.json in my directory structure. So yes, so package.json is something which is really a mandate for Node.js application, which is nothing but from where the Node.js application reads the configuration, and to help me install my npm package that is nothing but connect, I need to have package.json in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a package.json over here. You can see I've just created a package.json. uh, as you know, this is package.json is empty. I'm just going to put a valid json over here, and that is nothing but opening and closing the curly braces over here. So this becomes a valid json now. Great. So this is what I'm doing over here. And now what I'm really going to do is again going to do nothing but npm install connect. And let me see what happens. So I'm just hitting enter, and things are getting downloaded from the internet, and that is from npm registry. And let us see what happens. Oh wow, so you can see over here I'm getting a dependency. So now whenever I'm trying to run this particular program into any of the machine, that particular machine knows what are the dependent packages for this particular application to work, and that is nothing but which has been given in the dependencies block over here, this dependency object over here. Moving ahead, I'll just like to start my application. And to start my application, what I really always do is nothing but node space, and I always run my application from app.js, so node space app.js. But it is really not the best way to do it. Rather than that, I can just write a script over here in my package.json, which would help me to not repeat the stuff again and again. It's quite boring for me to do. What I'm going to do is, it is nothing but, I'll just write scripts over here, and right, great. So scripts are nothing but going to be what? My script would be nothing but start. And my start would be nothing but the same thing. It is going to be node space app.js. So again, this is going to be the same thing which I execute in my terminal, but I really don't want to type it every time. Rather than that, I'm going to first save this up, and now I'm going to start my server by just saying npm run. So for installing it is npm space install, and to running this custom scripts it is always going to be npm run, and it is going to be npm run start. So start is going to be the name of script. So there can be multiple scripts over here, which can be seen later if at all it is really needed, or else it is going to be the almost the same object structure. So it's going to be npm run start, and let's see what happens. Oh wow, so you can see it is executing node space app.js in the terminal, which I used to do manually before, and now it is getting triggered automatically by just by just running the start command. And and now on my server is running on localhost 3000. I'll just okay, cool. So now what I'm going to really do is, let me just, okay, great. So now what I'm going to do is, and now I'm going to just jump into my app.js, and now I'm just firstly going to clear my terminal, and over here you can see the first thing I'm going to get my app up and running with the connect HTTP framework of Node.js. And how I'm going to do it is, it's damn simple. The first thing I'm going to take a var, and which is going to be having something nothing but a variable connect, and the connect is going to be as simple as that. It's going to require something like connect. It's damn simple. So you can see over here, once I did npm install, there's a folder which is getting created over here, and that is nothing but node_underscore module. So here is the place wherein all dependencies are getting installed into your node application. So all definitions have been installed in this particular folder, and when I say require connect, it is actually referencing it. You can see it is referencing it from node modules, right? And from node modules it is @types and connect index. So you can see it is here somewhere. It is getting from here somewhere, and you can see here there is connect, and even this particular connect is having a package.json inside, which is having its own dependencies, right? Like these. Again, this can be a different packages. Now you can see the dependency of debug node application is over here. You can see the definition over here. Again, it is getting installed into dependencies, and over here again it is going to have, as this is also a node application, it would also have a package.json. So package.json is something which is mandate for every node application. Yeah, so I'll just close this up because this is not going to be our domain any which ways. I'm going to go into my app.js. I've required connect from my node modules. From this is the folder which I've got from npm install connect, and then from here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say var app is equal to connect. Super. So now I have my reference to my connect framework, and how I'm really going to use it. I'm going to use, so there is a simple way how you can make this thing running. Let me just write the code, and then maybe I can explain you. App dot something like use, and this use is going to be exactly this function. I'll just cut the code here and I'll paste it here, and I'm going to now say, so my app is nothing but the connect, and there's a public interface called use over here, which takes a function as a parameter, and I've just copy pasted the code from HTTP server to over here, and over here I'm just going to say that the server should be app and nothing else. And this is it, guys. Let me see if everything is fine. So now what I'm going to do is npm run start, and you can see things are great working over there, and I'm just going to start my Chrome, and it's going to be, wow, it's running great. If I just go to some other thing, maybe JJJ, it's page.fun. So yes, I have successfully migrated my application to connect HTTP framework of Node. Now coming back to something called middleware. Now just think about something like, before accessing my application, I need to see whether my user is really authenticated or not. So that means each and every time the browser hits a request from a server to my base URL maybe, I need to always be ensured that yes, the user who is trying to access this particular server is authenticated or not. For that, so before this particular use block, I'm going to use one more use block, and that is nothing but app.use. And again, this is going to be have a similar kind of function layout. So this is nothing but ES6, this is ES5. It is quite cool. I can use both of them at once. So it is request response next. Right. So request and response is exactly the same what it means over here. So till now, definitely you guys must be knowing what is request. A request is nothing but having all the knowledge about from where the request is coming, what is the method of the request, what is this like, what is the URL from which I'm getting the request, and result is something from where I can connect to, I can give the result back to the Chrome using the headers and the rest of the things. And over here I'm just going to console.log out, and I will say this is my first middleware. So I'll just say my first middleware, right? Great. So now let me just clear the stuff out, and I'm going to again run my server over here, and let's see. So now you can see my server is running at 3000. At this particular page, I am just going to refresh. I'm just going to access my server, and let's see really what happens. So I've just somehow oh wow, super. So you can see the server is running at this thing, and from there I got 2 requests. So that my first, so let me just clear these things off. Maybe I'll just clear it. I'll just enter it again. Oh god, so I need to start my server again. Oh, so now you can see when I access my localhost 3000 from here, I'm getting an output that is nothing but my first middleware. But you can see this is not really behaving in a great way. It is still waiting for localhost. You can see at this particular page of the video, and just hovering over here, it is waiting for the localhost. So it is waiting for the server to give back the response, and I am not handling it anywhere over here. So for that to happen, I need to tell this middleware that please, please, please pass on the request to the next middleware, and that is nothing but the URL handling logic which I've written over here. So I'm just going to say next. I'm going to give it is going to be a function, and let us see what happens. And then I'll again start my server back. Great. And I'm going to just refresh it. You can see now my things are working fine, and you can see that my URL was hit by my server was hit by a blank URL, and this is my first server, and this is nothing but the fave icon request which the server, your browsers almost every time hits, like to download these particular icons, this icon, there might be many other icons on the web page which are not really part of your application. So that is something which is getting hit over here, but you can see I am getting access to my first middleware. So this can be a page, this can be a blog wherein you can check for authentication. You don't really want the request to flow to your application logic until and unless you are really what do you say, you are really sure about that your user is really authenticated. So like for example, I'm getting a check, like for over here I'll say that where is check is authenticated. I'll say true. So by running some of the logic, I get to know that yes, this is true. So if it is true, if this is authenticated is true, I'll say cool, you are given a gate pass to access my route logic over here. Else, if it is not the case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say respond with status code, that is nothing but 4 0, like something like 401. So 401 is nothing but you have no permission to it to access the resource. And yes, again I'm going to set the header something as plain. It's going to be a text, and I'm going to end my request with saying not authenticated, like something called user not authenticated. Let me see. So in this case, it is really going to do, it is going to get this to this particular block and going to give me this index.html. If you can just go over here, I just npm run start, and over here if I refresh, it is great, it's working great. So you can see in my network, if I refresh this particular page, I get a response, a great response, a positive response. But what if my authentication logic really goes for a toss, like false? And over here, I'll restart my server again. And now let me see what happens. And I just refresh it. You can see over here everything goes for a toss. It says it is unauthorized. Authentication is going for a toss. The reason being the user is not authenticated to access my routes. And that is the reason, and that is the reason things are not really working great over here. And this is how it is handled. Moving ahead, guys, I'll just keep it as true, maybe, right? At the same time, guys, you can also use multiple middlewares. So over here, I'll say function, and this function is going to be nothing but request a response. And here I can again console.logout, and I'll say my second middleware. And if at all I just go ahead and do npm run start and I refresh the page, okay, oh Ture, it's true. And great, so over here I'll just have to refresh the page again, and over here I'll just say yes. So it is going to be first middleware and second middleware. Again, you can say it is really not waiting, it is waiting for the local host. The reason being I need to explicitly say over here give the control to the next middleware, and once I do that, but you can see over here it is accessing my second middleware. So here you can check for authorization, maybe anything can be there. So over here I'll just I'll say npm run start, and over here I'll just refresh the page. Okay, so now it is going to be there. Okay, so next is not defined. Oh, I'm goofing up big time over here, and again I need to just clear the stuff out. And yes, over here I'm going to say npm run start and hope it runs fine. Right, yes, it is working fine, and you can say it is accessing second middleware as well. You can also give a specific middleware to specific routes. Like for example, I need a specific route when people are trying to access my download page. So over here I can say yes, my download page is going to be accessed by something called DOWNLODS downloads, and over here I can say my downloads middleware, and here you can check for anything. Maybe you have to you really want to check for something which is specific to downloads. You can do it by just adding one more parameter over here, and that's string downloads. I'll again restart the server by npm run start. Things are great. I refresh it, it is going superb, right? You can see it will be printed out over here. I'll just go there and say DOWNLOADS downloads. You can see yes, page is not found definitely, but yes, my download middleware is accessed with downloads URL. You can see downloads URL was accessed by my route, and this is my middleware. So this is the all concept of middleware, and hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thanks a lot, guys.